So looking at the email you've just sent to me, adding account managers. Can you explain that a little bit more to me so I know what you're looking for on that one?
So basically, just talking about like a user. So like myself, I've got an account which I'm a user, but also wanted to set up an account for Liza as well as Teresa. Because what will happen is that we are also going to be allocated clients that we are specifically, key working with. And so we wanted to ensure that whatever entries or whatever information is basically, the person that we keep working with. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so I think to cover 2 areas, your next one underneath is adding staff. So if I run through that one, so up in the staff area, you've got add, edit staff records.
Yes.
Okay. And when that opens, all you need to do is up here, you would do add new staff member. Okay. When you click.
Sorry, Kerry.
Oh.
Kerry, what Emmanuel left out is users that are significant. Then it's like me and Emmanuel, we have things that we see that other people don't see.
Yes.
So, and then other people, other staff that will come, like who are just staff.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that he left out.
That's fine, no problem. So it's kind of all ties into the one. When you're adding the staff member, you decide on their security level within your care control of what they can and can't see.
Yeah.
Okay. So up here, if you click on add new staff member, it will open up a blank area of this one. Okay. Add in your staff member's details. Okay. In the postcode, primary telephone number, your date of birth and start date on there. Save changes, and it will then open up this tab here for role. Obviously, it will be empty to start with.
Okay.
You'll need to add a role. Okay, and in here, Liza, what's your position? What's your position?
Operations manager.
Okay, so in which case, in here, in the category, you would choose management. If it was a member of your care staff, your category would be care. Okay, so just type in care. Okay, so you would choose management or care, and then the role. So what are you? So you're an operations manager, so you would type that in here. If it's a care assistant or support worker, type in that title there. Okay. You can enter in the contract details, or for a minute you can tick 0. You can always come back and amend that after.
Okay.
Save changes. Okay. Save changes again down the bottom, and it will then open up this tab here for security. Okay. So this is where you'd create your own care control PIN number. So I'm sure there's a care control. So security, at the moment, this would be blank when you first open it. So you decide on 4 numbers. So any 4 numbers, you can type them in there, whatever it is. If you tick that box, when that member of staff, so give them 4 numbers, when they first log in, it will then ask them to create their own care control 4-digit PIN number. That will update in here so you guys can see it if needs be. But moving forwards, that 4 numbers will be their forever care control number.
Okay.
Then you need to decide what access do they have. So if it's a normal everyday carer or support assistant, and they're just going to be recording care as they go. So general notes, personal care, record an incident, just normal day to day. All they need is basic care editing ticked. If it's a more senior position and they may be completing risk assessments or care reviews, they might amend the monitoring if needed. They would need the advanced care editing ticked, okay, as well as the basic. If you're going to be using care control for medication, so for the EMAR app, any staff that are going to have anything to do with medication would need this one here ticked, which will allow them then to administer if you were going to use that area. Okay.
Okay.
For someone like yourself, Liza, obviously you're going to need full access, just like Manuel. So you would need administer ticked. Okay. And I'm going to go back on here. because I'm going to change you, Emmanuel, actually, to top secret, because only people like yourselves, this is like a different level of admin, so you can see the different levels of reports, different information. So I'm going to save that one. So I would say probably, Liza, you would have the top secret as well. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. I'm just going to let that catch
Yes.
itself up again for a minute. There we go. Okay, so that's adding your staff and also yourselves and with your different security levels of access. All right. Whatever you choose in that staff record determines what the staff member is going to be able to do.
Okay.
Right. What's the next one? And so you said, you mentioned about having like a key person for your service users in their care plans. If I go to show care plan, choose the care control test and go on to the personal details page. It's up here, look, so you've got primary carer. So if you just click to edit, click to change, you've got a yellow screen, primary carer, and it will you'll see your members of staff all in this list eventually. So you select the member of staff and it shows that they're the primary carer for that person. Okay. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Incident entry. So incident entry, do you mean just recording an incident? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, so your staff on the devices and you on Windows as well, anyone can record an incident. Come to record information. And over the right here, you've got incident or accident. Click on that one.
All right.
Okay, and it'll open up the accident form. So fill in the details. Scroll down. So who is the incident, who you're recording it for. So if it's one of your service users, they will show in the drop list to select from. Come a little bit further down. If anybody witnessed the accident, obviously if a member of staff was there when they fell over, for example, you can choose that member of staff. If nobody witnessed it, don't worry, leave it as no one witnessed. Obviously you would describe what's happened. And just down the bottom of here on our accident forms, we've got a couple of different areas. So all of these areas here on the left-hand side, these create like a to-do, if you like. So they'll create a task on the home status, just so it reminds the member of staff or you to notify the family members, contact emergency services. If any of these are ticked, they will show on the home status to be completed. All right, just to mark off that when you've done them. Over on the right-hand side, if any of these are ticked, these will generate in that service user's care plan for you. So if you were to tick a 30-minute wellbeing, maybe they bumped their head. If you tick that one, as soon as you save the incident, it will put them on that monitoring and it will flag up to get the staff to prompt them to record how that person is.
Okay.
Any risk assessment's the same, it will flag up for it to be completed. Or if it was a health issue, say for maybe, I don't know, they fell over and they've got a skin tear, and you want to make sure that it's going to be reviewed on a regular basis. When you select this one here, when you save the incident, it will take you straight to that health issue page to then create that health issue. And in that health issue, you set the frequency of how often you want the staff to record how that is. So it could be, if they've fallen over and had a skin tear, you might want to just make sure that the staff are checking on that daily to make sure it's okay. And you'd set that frequency. All right. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Just a quick question, Kerry.
Yeah.
Is this a dummy account or is this our actual account?
No, this is all yours. All yours.
Oh, okay. I just noticed
Okay.
because as I mentioned, we've got a client. So I noticed his name and I thought, oh, okay.
No,
yeah.
this is yours. Your site.
Oh, okay, it's not a dummy account. No.
No. It makes more sense to people if you're using like the site that you're used to seeing with the people that you're used to. It makes a little bit more sense. All right.
Okay. Where does that put us with GDPR though? Just in question. I'm just thinking out loud in case we get an audit with
yeah, so Yeah, no problem at all. We are inspected, obviously, and we've passed all the certificates. I've got a certificate that I can send through to you if you wanted to have it for your records.
Okay. So that would just covered, yeah.
Yeah, all the data's protected. What I'll do is I'll send you through the certificate so you can keep it, have it as your record.
Okay.
So if you needed to show it to anybody, you've got it.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, no problem. I'll write myself a little note. No problem. What have I got next? It says support plan. Anything particular with the support plan?
Yeah, it's just because we're trying to have a fiddle with the different functions. So, basically, what are the features? How would we, or do we actually need to create create a support plan feature?
That's okay. So if
for this one it's almost like a care plan. So
yes.
a support plan or / care plan. So then if we have one which is yours, then we put it to our, like when we're dealing with elderly, it's different than when we're doing with young people. So to suit it the way with our young people.
Yeah, no problem. So before I go into a care plan, let's have another little look in here. Care planning, and we've got care review domains. Do you remember me saying before about the care review?
Yeah.
If I have a little look in here, at the moment, the box on the right-hand side, these are the domains that are going to come up. Okay. You can create your own domains if you needed to or you wanted to suit your younger people.
All right.
All right. So that would be done in here. So over here, you go edit domains.
Yes.
And then at the very top, add new. And you would enter in your domain details. So the domain category would be general, health, personal care, etc. So you'd add that in. And then the domain name, I don't know, so it could be one for seizures, for example. It could be, whatever you're looking for, or it could be a domain to support out in the community. It can be for anything. And then in this here, the guidance note, this is, do you remember in the care reviews, you've got the levels of need?
Yeah.
So this is where this guidance is. So you've got the no level. If I open one up, so can you see no need, low level, moderate, and high? In the guidance of the domain that you're creating, just use this as a guidance so that you can put it in there. So whoever's completing that care review for that service user has a guidance of which level of need to select. All right. Does that make sense? Do you remember that bit?
Yeah.
So these domains, I cannot type my own. I have to pick choose from there.
No, you can create your own. That's in the top up here. So add new. Create your brand new domain. Once you've entered all your information, click save changes, and it will go over here on the left somewhere, usually down the bottom.
Okay, now I see.
Yeah, find where your new domain goes, select it and add it over, and it will come over into your list on the right-hand side for you. All right, so then when you save changes, when you're happy with this list, save changes, and that'll update, and all of your service users, they'll all have those new domains that you've created.
Okay.
All right. If I then go into a care plan or support plan, whichever you want to call it, if I go into care control, this front page here, just to give you a bit of a refresh, this is like their front cover of your folder, if you like. Everything up here, you can't edit. It will draw from information you enter in their care plan.
Yeah.
Okay. Over on the left, it shows you what's outstanding for that service user, what needs doing. And then over on the right here, this shows the areas of monitoring that you've got active for that service user. So any monitoring or risk assessments, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you remember how to change them if you needed to?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. If I go in the folder on the left-hand side, so the show care plan options, all of these tabs, this is your care plan or your support plan, whichever you want to call it. Okay, so this is all your dividers. All right. Do you want me to run through any of these top ones again, or are you quite happy in them?
Just run through a few.
Yeah, no problem. So the personal details. click to edit at the top, and then change so you get your yellow screen so you can edit. Okay. If they haven't got any allergies, just put none or NA in there so that Care Control knows that you've seen the box. Same with special dietary needs. Enter in, I'm going to cancel that a minute, enter in if you've got their DNR status, whether they're to be resuscitated or not. As I said, you've got your primary carer here where you can pick your staff. Adding your GP. Do you remember how to add the GP to the system?
Click that arrow underneath there.
Yeah, but do you remember how to actually, you've got to put it in like your big phone book first. If I do this to go through it. So if I go on, I'm on the full admin again, and I'm going to go to communication and contacts. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a new contact, and I'm going to put doctor. I'm going to choose GP, and I'm going to put so that you know it's not real. Care control test. Okay, and if I put a number in there, so pop in your GP details and add contact. So that's added in your big phone book now. Okay, so I'm going to come out, go back into the care plan, and onto the personal details page again. So you've added it in your main big phone book. Come in here, click to edit, change, and then in the drop down, you will see your doctor to choose from. Okay. Yeah, so you can do that same process for all 4 of these contacts here if you wanted to. The reason behind it, and I've used it myself, if you needed to phone one of your service users, GPs, for example, come into here, click on the phone book, and it puts it straight on the screen for you. So you dial the number. Once you've made contact, close the box, and you're already in their care plan. You've got their date of birth in front of you. You've got access to all their other areas. You haven't got to go searching for anything. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. A little bit further down, you've got their, obviously add in their height and their weight. You've got their eye color, hair color, etc. These boxes, they build as you go. Okay, so in here, if you were to add blue, when you go onto your next service user, you'll see blue in the drop down to select from, and so on. A little bit further down, you've got your further information. Do you remember right at the beginning, I said you can have up to 10 extra fields of information? So we put social worker. So if you wanted to add more, just bear in mind that you have actually got space. You can have like 9 other extra fields of information if you wanted to. All right. Some people put dentist on here. You know, it's whatever matches your service users really that you need on there. Okay.
Yeah. Social workers.
Yeah, so you've got the social worker one there. It's just as time goes on, you might think, well, that'd be really useful for everybody, or anything like that, in which case you can add them in. All right.
Yeah.
If I go back in here again, you've got your key contacts. So this is your service user's phone book. So this is Care Control Test's phone book. Click to change. So you could add in, I don't know, their daughter, for example. Just going to keep it very simple. And it's really useful in here to like have a little note, phone, I don't know, home number until 6 p.m. then the mobile, for example. It's just really handy to have a little note there written. And also, you know, if you can't get a hold of this person, who do you then phone? Because if this person is their next of kin, have that one ticked and it'll always keep them as number 1. But if they're on holiday or they're not available, who do you then phone if you can't get hold of that person? So it's useful to have in here, you know, if not available, contact number 3. Yeah. Do save changes and it adds them to their phone book. All right. Care notes. I see on your email you've got your daily notes. Everything
That's it.
Yeah. Everything you do on Care Control generates a note on your service user's care plan. Okay, so it will generate time and date stamped note on their care plan. Obviously, care control's not got a lot going on at the minute, but you'll have notes generated. That in turn, all of your staff can see those notes for the service users that they're seeing. And you guys on here, you can view the handover and see everybody's notes as well as coming in their care plans in here. All right. The care review. Do you want me to just run over this one quickly, or are you all right with this area?
Yeah. Quickly, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so up here you would do start new care review if it's a new person. I'm going to continue this one. First thing you need to do is come down here to modify care review sections. So do you remember just a minute ago I said you can build your new domains? If you build them, they'll show in here. This list on the right hand side, get it right for your service user that you're going to be doing this review for. So it may be that they don't need that one, so I'm going to remove it. Yeah. It may be that they need that one, so I'm going to add it over. So get this list on the right hand side correct for that person. Once you're happy, and they don't have to have lots. If you're not doing a lot for that person, you haven't got to have all the areas. It's entirely individual. Save changes, okay, and it'll update this list on the left there that you'll be completing. Then move over here. So is the service user taking part in this review? Yes or no? Is their family or the advocate involved? In here, it's a little bit of evidence that the you've spoken to their family. It may be that your service user's doing the review with you. So it's just a bit of evidence. In here, this is an overview. Overview of your service user. What are they like? I don't know. Oh, I can't type. Do you know what I mean, though? So what are they like? Sociable? Are they anxious? Have they got a health condition? Yeah, so just kind of like, imagine I'm going to come and work for you. I have a little read of this. I can get a little picture of what that service user's like. Yeah?
Okay.
Then click next, and it will take you into the domains. So depending on what you've chosen, this one's got continents. So this is the level of need. Click change, and this is where, when you're creating them domains, this is where that guidance comes in. So you could choose, I'm going to go no need, they're fine. In the top box here, it's all about your service user. Okay, so what do they do? In this instance, they're completely independent. They'll ask for assistance if they need it. Maybe they need a hoist. What do they do in this area? This one here is all about your staff and how. Okay, so in there, all about your staff. How do you want them to support your service user? Okay, in this area. All right, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes, it does. My question, on the care note section, you mentioned that it does have a date and time stamp. Now, how far back can we go? Because what we've done so far with some notes, we've just handwritten them in a book, and we want to transfer them. Would that be possible then? I mean, these notes have already got their dates and times as well.
Okay.
Would that be possible to do, or they'll all appear just on one particular day?
So the notes that you've already got for your service user, did you just say they're on paper at the moment?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to just go next and save that one for you. I'm going to come out of here, because what you're going to need to do for that one, so it's from when you start using care control that you'll have your notes generated on there. But for anything prior to care control, like your notes that you've already got, if you can save them onto your PC, okay, come into their care plan, come down to here, linked documents.
Okay.
And on here, if you do add new, up here, put the name, I don't know, care notes prior to care control, for example. A little bit of a description. So any, handwritten notes prior to care control. Document type, I would choose a client document. Okay. And then just click on here, browse. It will take you into your PC where you've saved that document with all their care notes on it. click on it to open and you'll see it in this box then. When you click continue, it will double check that you've got the right document, click continue, and then you'll see them here with a big green button on the right hand side where you can click and view and open them documents at any time. Because obviously they were before care control, you can't record information in the past, but you can load their documents up, so it's all on their care plan, it's all still visible.
Okay, so we can scan like the ones we have the handwritten on, we can scan them, upload them, and then we can get them uploaded onto care controls.
Yeah, that's it. Pop them in as a linked document into their care plan.
Okay.
All right, and then it's all still in one place. It's just, you know, and moving forwards, everything will be on care control, in which case you'll be able to go into the care notes. You can go back the last 12 months. You can see all notes. You can search for particular notes if you wanted to. You know, it's all going to be there. All right.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay. What about risk assessments? Do you want me to just go on that one quickly?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the risk assessments, you've got some built into your system. So do you remember on the managed monitoring where you allocate what each individual needs? On here, care control's got these ones. So to complete these ones, all you do is click on it, click to change. You've got a yellow screen, and then it's just a case of answering the boxes. All right. Once you've filled it out, click save. And you'll see over here your name and a date, so you can see when it's been completed. And each month they'll come up to be reviewed. But next month when they come up to be reviewed, you haven't got to fill out all them boxes again. All your information will still be there. You're just reviewing if that's still correct or not. If it's not, then obviously you would edit it. But on time, you will see a history building here, so you'll see each month's risk assessment. So if you ever needed to show or share it with anybody, you can do. Okay. You can also create your own risk assessments on care control. Do you remember how to do that?
That's a good one.
I shall go on the page. Let's go. I'll go full admin.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's in the care planning tab here, and right underneath you've got generic risk assessments. So you're building it as a generic. It's not for a particular person at the moment.
Yeah.
So what you would do is add new, add in the name of your risk assessment and click continue. I'm not going to do it again because I know I've got one here. It will open up. Okay, so then you would do add new line, and it'll open up this box here, an empty one. And at the top, can you see here, I would suggest that you put a guidance at the top of your risk assessment. So a guidance for whoever it is that's going to be completing that risk assessment. What do you want them to take into account, think about, have a look at, etc. And then in this drop down, select guidance field, add new, and it'll add the next line. And then it's a case of adding in your question. So this is where you use the build line. And you write in your questions. So can you see from here, I've got does, and then I've used these tabs, first name, understand that he, she requires a sensor map. You can test the sentence. If I click on Carl and test the template, that's how it will read in their care plan. Okay, so if you were going to use it for them, so you can see that it reads right. If you're happy with how it comes out, save the note template, and it will come in here. And then you need to decide how you're going to answer that risk assessment. So this one here, we chose a yes or no. So if I save changes and have a little look by clicking try it, it'll open up the risk assessment. It'll show you what it's going to look like in that person's care plan. So you've got your guidance, the question, yes or no, and there's always a comment box on the right-hand side. It may be that you actually want a risk level, in which case the other most popular one is that one, the risk level. Save changes, have a little look, and it's changed it to the risk level. And again, your comment box on the right-hand side. Does that make sense? So you would just add another line, add your next question, and build your risk assessment. Yeah?
Yeah.
Once you've built it and you're happy, so you might want to build one, for example, I don't know if any of your service users, maybe they'll they will go into town. Maybe they'll go shopping, or they'll, you know, go out in the garden. Whatever the risk assessment is, you can create them. So once you've built it here and you're happy with it, you'll then need to just go to Manage Monitoring, choose which service user needs that risk assessment, add new, add new, and you'll see your risk assessment. So you can see test CC there. So you'll see your risk assessment that you've created in this list. For you to then select. And then the frequency if you need to. Most risk assessments are monthly, but it may be different depending on each service user. Add in a reason why you're starting that risk assessment, and then when you click start, it'll be added to that person, and then it will come up as a task on your home status to complete. But you can also go into their care plan, and it will be in that risk assessment tab for you to then complete for them. So it will show in here. It will be in this list for you then to click and complete.